Lyndon Lebayan.
All right, so it's been, I think, like 5 weeks since the last video. A lot's happened. The GH6 went from leaked specs to officially announced and released, so that's exciting. World-ending events aside, I survived a round of layoffs at my job, so that's also exciting. In today's video, I kind of wanted to just talk about my thoughts on my favorite YouTubers' thoughts on the GH6 and what my plans are moving forward regarding the GH6. So it's no secret, Panasonic's autofocus still sucks, and I'm okay with that. I'm also okay with not full frame. I think especially for the price, because like a lot of these YouTubers, price really isn't a problem for them. You know, a lot of them really just need one freaking good camera. Some of them might need two. But for like the studio stuff that they do, this is their livelihood, where they pick up something and they go, hey guys, take a look at this. This is from Unbox Therapy. This is their official Google Pixel 6 Pro. See, this doesn't work. I'm using the S5 right now with autofocus continuous face detect mode, and this doesn't work, which is fine. But this is what they do. So when they're dropping, you know, $5,000 Canadian on an A7S III with a, I don't know, G Master 35mm or whatever, it makes sense for them. Right? Even with the A1. Some of my favorite YouTubers using the A1 as their main camera. That's Sony autofocus. You know, that quality, that high bit rate. It makes sense. But the A1 costs, I don't know how much the A1 costs. God, the A1 costs 8,500 Canadian dollars. That is incredible. That's almost unjustifiable for just video. Okay, let's step it down a notch. Even the A7S III at $5,000 Canadian, the taxes included, that's still incredible. That's incredible to me. The A7 IV at 3,200 Canadian. Okay, a little more reasonable, but when you consider the S5 is $2,000 Canadian with garbage autofocus, it doesn't make sense. I couldn't justify that, especially because I don't even use the full frame capabilities of this camera anyway. Right now I'm using 24-105. It's the full frame lens. Sure, I'm using full frame right now, but when I'm at a wedding, I'm usually on 4K 60. You want to call it a crutch or whatever, but this thing does it at Super 35. And when I'm not using that lens, I'm using the 18-35, which is a crop lens, and I'm in permanent Super 35 mode on that thing. I can't justify the premium of full frame autofocus from any of these other brands that offer it. There are other Panasonic-isms too that, whether full frame or not, that I've gotten used to that I don't want to let go of. First being the incredible IBIS. Either in the lens, built into the body, dual IBIS or single IBIS or whatever. I love being able to handhold this thing. Assuming that the GH6's IBIS is as good as these YouTubers are saying, you know, I'm just going to love it even more. Another feature is total customizability. Like every button on these S cameras and the G cameras, you're able to, you know, hold down the button and auto assign almost any option from the menus to the buttons. On the GH5 and the S5 specifically, out the box you get waveform. You know, that's not something you get in these $3,000, $5,000, $8,000 cameras. Another thing that gets overlooked too is when I do switch between 4K 30 and 4K 60, I don't want to have to worry about my shutter speed. Or if you're changing your frame rates, because you change your shutter speed anyway, it doesn't matter. But like the S5 out the box and the GH5 out the box have shutter angle. You know, I just set it to 180-degree shutter and I don't got to worry about it. And these are the Panasonic-isms that, for the price, no other cameras are really offering. The FX3 is a great example. The FX3 is supposed to be this cinema line for Sony, and that's like, what, $5,000? And that doesn't even have waveform and shutter angle, which make absolutely no sense to me. Whatever the premium is for great video autofocus, I'm not willing to pay it. I don't think it's worth it. For me anyway. Even with the video features aside, for what I'm trying to create and the type of wedding videos I'm trying to make, I want to have at least 2 to 3 cameras, and an A7S III is pretty much the budget of a 2 or 3 camera setup, including lenses. You know, that $5,000 doesn't even include a lens, so that's a little crazy to me. And you know, maybe that's also because I'm not charging enough. You know, maybe I'm not in that upper echelon of wedding filmmakers yet, where I can do that. And that's true. You know, Ray Roman charges like $20,000 US for a wedding film. So maybe when I get there, maybe we'll be having a different conversation. All right, but enough about that. What do I plan to do now? Now that I know the GH6 is out, and now that I've seen all these YouTube videos, have I made a decision? So yes, I made a decision. I pre-ordered the GH6. I plan to replace the G9 with the GH6. I'm gonna have the GH5 and GH6 as the locked off cameras with the 12-35 and the 35-100, and I'm gonna main the S5 to be able to shoot Vlog 10-bit on this thing. You know, depending on how good the IBIS is on the GH6, I might swap out the S5 and the GH6 here and there, albeit with the same lens with the 18-35. Yeah, we'll see how that works out when I get it. I don't know yet. Until I hold the GH6 and really use it, I won't know just how good that dynamic range boost actually performs. I know for receptions, I probably will be using the S5 as my main camera, mainly because the S5 has the secondary ISO, second native ISO at 4000. I think that's still going to outperform the Micro Four Thirds cameras in low light. So getting rid of the G9 is a little bittersweet. I've already put it up on eBay. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it up on Kijiji or any local listings, but you know, taking the pictures and post it up, they look terrible. But the G9 was my go-to fun camera. You know, my GH5 is still my workhorse. You know, I don't want to take that out for fun anymore because I don't want to damage it. I've already had to fix a sensor on that thing, and I don't want to deal with that. The S5 is also a main workhorse camera, where the G9 is kind of like my fun camera. You know, I take it on trips. I take it to the dog park often. My favorite pictures of Yuki that get posted, you know, to my Instagram or her Insta or whatever, have been taken on the G9 with the 35-100. I know people always like, you know, just trash on the Panasonic autofocus, but for pictures, including bursts like action shots, the G9's animal auto detect autofocus has been fantastic. At least for capturing my dog anyway. I don't know if like for birds or whatever, but for my dog at the park or the backyard or in the front yard or whatever, it's fantastic. And shooting with it has been a great experience. And I'm only hoping that the GH6 can live up to that in terms of photography, because it just would suck to replace the G9 with the GH6. And as great as I know that thing's going to be for video, you know, I'm just hoping it lives up to some of the photo expectations I have, thanks to the G9. I think that's where I'm going to leave this video at for now. Pre-order's in. I think they start shipping mid-March. If I get that GH6, you can take it out on some tests, and then I don't get back to you guys on that. But okay, but that's it. Thanks guys for watching. I will see you in the next video. Hopefully I don't take too long, but I got other things to talk about too. I just got to shoot those videos and I should talk about them. Okay, bye guys. A7S or